Hey yogis, welcome back. It's Sarah Hutchinson at yogawisdomandwellness.com, and I just wanted a few minutes of your time to talk about getting burnt out, because I'm going to out myself today with my burnout and show you some of my favorite tips for rehabbing myself. So, yep, that's what I'm outing, is that I'm feeling really toasted. And for those of you who are fans of Yoga Beyond the Poses Telesummit, my team and I have been working on it for months, weeks, days, hours. And it's an intense thing to do to pull it together. It's so worthwhile, but I've gotten fried. So I'm depleted and feeling it. Maybe you can see it in my eyes. I'm also a little sick, a little snuffly, got a little scratchy throat, all those things that happen to me when I get depleted. Now, bearing in mind, my dosha is fire and water. That makes me pitta. So my tendency, according to my dosha, is going to be to push too hard. And that's what I did. So I'm now what my teacher calls a tired yogi. So here are my tips. My things that I do when I get fried. Okay, so here I am in my kitchen, and you might notice I'm sitting next to one of my very dear friends, my Crock Pot. Love this thing. You don't have to get this particular brand, but I hope you have a Crock Pot. And in it right now, because I'm depleted, I am simmering a chicken bones, a chicken skeleton from an organic chicken that I bought and cooked and ate and fed to some other people. And now I'm making a broth from the bones. Why? Because according to Ayurveda, that bony matrix that I'm able to withdraw with the slow simmer, the molecular structure of it is very strengthening to me. So bone broth is recommended for depletion. That's what I'm making in my crock pot. So make friends with the crock pot. It's one of your yoga lifestyle friends. Other thing that I know is so basic, but I always like to remind myself about, and maybe you too, is water. I'm staying extra hydrated with both room temperature water, remember no ice, puts out the fire, and also I'm drinking a lot of just hot water with lime, hot water with lemon, just plain hot water. So hydration, good friend to the depleted yogi. Here are some other friends. Many of you are already fans of Chauhan Prash. I happen to favor the Himalayan Institute brand of Chauhan Prash. This is like an Ayurvedic multivitamin. It's a bunch of really synergistic herbs in butter and ghee, so it's sweet tasting, lovely to take in, and will help rebuild me. It'll help rebuild my ojas, that vital sap that I'm low on. So I like to use this at about 3 in the afternoon during vata time, and I chase it with some hot water. It satisfies my sweet tooth. And again, it's just very strengthening and nourishing. I'm also a big fan of ashwagandha. This happens to be Banyan Botanicals. I'm a non-denominational buyer of products. I like to source ashwagandha from Banyan. I also have a local source that I really love that's right here in the Rockies. This is an adaptogenic herb, good for all doshas. It happens to be very strengthening for me, and it's gotten me through 2 telesummits. So I'm leaning into the ashwagandha. I also have a locally wildcrafted herb called Osha. Now, where I live, just like where you live, there are wonderful native plants that have incredible properties and have taken in the sun and taken up the nourishment of the local soil. And so they're in my ecosystem, and they're very synced up with me. So I love to wildcraft and eat from my yard and my ecosystem. And one of those plants is Osha. It's also known as bear root. It grows on the mountain where I live, and my girlfriends and I love to go dig it up in the fall and make it into a tincture, and it's really good because I've got some congestion and scratchy throat, and Osha's one of my faves. So nice, local, wild-crafted herb. The other herb that I intuitively was drawn to, I was at a friend's herb shop a couple days ago with my tired eyes, and she was like, "Oh, you don't look so good." I'm like, "Yeah." And amongst this plethora of herbs in her shop, I was very drawn to this packet of herbs that she had put together. And it was for making elderberry syrup, which I have made here very simply from the packet. It's got elderberries, echinacea, and astragalus in it. And I just, again, my innate wisdom, which I encourage with my yoga lifestyle, really rose up in that herb shop, and I was drawn to this packet. I came home, I made the herbal, just boiled it, made the herbal remedy, tincture, whatever it's called, added some honey, and now I'm taking this in. It feels just right. So again, let your wisdom guide you. That's why we live a yoga lifestyle, right? So we can have that wisdom to guide us. And also, finally, something you might not think about, but I'm always reminded of is I've got my fermented friends here. These happen to be one of my favorite kind of pickles. I like the bubbies a lot because these are real pickles, not fake pickles. There's a difference. We'll talk about that in another video. But these are really a fermented food. And I'm eating these as well as eating a lot of miso soup in order to bring the good bugs into my inner skin. Now, my inner skin is my digestive system. And in my inner skin, there are lots and lots of microbes. I call them bugs. We're hearing it called the microbiome these days. And I know that within my microbiome, a lot of nutrients are being processed, and a lot of the chemistry of my health is being created in my inner skin, in my microbiome. And the fermented foods help with that. So I lean into fermented foods when I'm depleted and not feeling well. So there's more I could tell you in my kitchen, but those are the basics. Those are my pals here, really helping me with my depletion. But there are a couple more things that are absolutely key. I want to make sure I don't leave out. Lucky me, I live in a really beautiful place. Some of you have been here. If you haven't, I hope you will come someday. And I just want to give the reminder that depletion is really cured by Mother Nature. So here I am outside, beautiful September day. This is my garden. And I've got to remember to take my nature breaks. Because truly, if you want to nurture your ojas, it's really so beautifully done just by being in nature and feeling the rhythm of nature. So I'm structuring time into my day to spend in my garden, to just even lie on my back here in the garden or on my lawn and get my nature fix. In addition to that, I have another favorite location I want to show you. I'm sure it's one of your favorite locations too. But again, my tendency when I go out of balance, it's because I've been pushing too hard. So here's my other very important place, my other VIP. One of my final resting places is my couch. Yay for the couch. And you might notice on my couch, here's my iPod with my headphones. And that's because one of the best things I can do on my couch is to do the restorative practice of Yoga Nidra. And one of the reasons I've gotten so fried and so burned out is I dropped away from my Yoga Nidra, feeling like I was too busy, not taking the time, pushing too hard. And so to come back to the couch, practice Yoga Nidra in the afternoons. I have a 27-minute practice that I really favor. It's super nourishing, very restoring. It returns me to my dharmic purpose because I practice Yoga Nidra with Sankalpa. We can talk about that another time. But the point is, it brings me back to the beginning of who I am and what it is that I came to do in my life, what my purpose is, and not to get too heavy about it, but living that life purpose is also a source of endless energy and nourishment and inspiration. So spend some time on the couch, spend some time, there's my garden, out in nature. Use the tools that are in your kitchen and in your spice rack. And I'll get back to you when I'm not quite so burned out. I've got to rebuild some ojas. I just wanted to out myself on the burnout, just in case it would be helpful for you. I wonder what your favorite things to do are when you're feeling burned out. I'd love to hear from you. Let us know on the Facebook feed below this video. In the meantime, there's always more over at Yoga, Wisdom, and Wellness. I'm going to go get some rest. Until we meet again, namaste.